Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the comic book industry is cashing out. Looks like Boom Studios sold out to Random House, to Penguin Random House, whatever it is now. We used to have like 6 major publishers. Now they're down to like 4, I think. But this was always the plan. According to Ross Ritchie, basically he wanted to start the company and he wanted to cash out. And this is how the enshittification of everything happens, in my personal opinion. Now, I don't know Ross Ritchie, but I'm saying everybody starts companies now, not with the intention of actually growing the company organically, but with the intention of selling it.
Well, I would think that was the case, but I don't think it's worth as much now as it would have been worth a few years ago.
No.
So at that point, you didn't really win.
So we'll talk about this. I think they, as I understand it, they were closely associated with Fox at one point. I don't know if Fox actually owned part of them or not, but then when Disney bought Fox, like everything went to hell in a handbasket. So I think Boom Studios always was basically like platinum, where I think the only reason they published anything was as pitches for like Netflix shows and movie deals and stuff like that. But now Random House is going to take it, which is interesting because Penguin Random House has been eating Diamond's lunch too. So this whole thing is weird. And this is after, was it last year or the year before that Embracer Group bought Dark Horse, and then they had to write it off this year because it wasn't making any money. And it's just like, what the hell is going on? So comics are fine, everybody.
Great.
Don't worry about it. Everybody's just selling their stuff. So before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. So you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So yeah, this is coming from Deadline. I had a couple people send me a tip on this, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty shocking, but it's very clear that Boom, especially, and IDW is another one, I think, they always had their eye on Hollywood. So the first chance they are on, selling, basically, it was never like they never wanted to be a comic book publisher. They always wanted to be a Hollywood studio, and I think they're going to sell to the first company that comes along. So Random House Publishing Group, a division of the world's largest trade publisher, Penguin Random House, has entered into an agreement to acquire comic book, graphic novel, and licensed storytelling publisher and studio Boom Studios.
That's a lot to say in one sentence.
Boom Studios Publishing will now join the Random House World's portfolio of imprints alongside Del Rey, Inklore, and the RH World's licensing program.
I thought they had Del Rey. Isn't Del Rey
science fiction? Del Rey, of course, is pretty famous science fiction publisher back in the day. Before Disney, they actually did publish a lot of Star Wars books and stuff. So I mean, I guess in that regard, it is a good fit. And I think they publish manga now. I think Del Rey actually publishes manga.
The RH World, didn't they used to publish some of the Star Wars guides and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to tell. Like anymore, it's like
time.
You've got one, because there are only like 4 or 5 major publishers now, and they've got like so many imprints.
Well, I know Disney's working with Penguin Random House. So.
Yeah, they're handling all the Disney Worldwide publishing books and stuff. So, I mean, it's just like, God, eventually we're going to have like one publisher, and it's going to be called Amazon. That's what's going to happen. The company is going to retain its editorial and publishing independence, though, like for now. Reporting to Random House World's president, Scott Shannon. So yeah, they're not firing anybody. There are no plans to relocate Boom from LA, and the company will continue to distribute through both Diamond and Simon & Schuster. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. The transaction is expected to close this summer. So this is Ross Ritchie. This is what concerns me. And I want to talk about this because this is everybody's plan. It's every entrepreneur's dream to launch a company, build it, and sell it to the best.
But you should have sold it a few years ago when it was worth more.
I think they tried. I think the pandemic threw a wrench into it.
But I'm just saying, like, now it's not worth as much as it was.
No.
So you're not really winning. But continue.
I'm excited to hand the reins of Boom over to the best and largest publisher in the world. Their focus on readers and retail partnerships will build upon our work and help our creators achieve more success. Personally, it's time for me to take some much needed time off with my family and explore what's next. So they're keeping the editors. I think he's noping out. This is
if you gave me a lot of money and I could just nope out, I probably would nope out too.
Well, that's it. That's what's going on. It feels like in general, like all of these comic book publishers, all these independent companies, right? They're all noping out, and everybody gets mad. Like George Lucas sold Star Wars, or Mike Richardson's sold Dark Horse, or this game studio or that game studio sold out. Look at it from their point of view. If they've been doing this for like 20 or 30 years and their family isn't interested in continuing it, and the other option is you just kind of wind it down and shut it down, or it lives on in some form, a lot of people are just going to take that check. They're gonna cash out. I mean, especially
I would take a lot of money, cash out, if people offered me millions and millions of dollars, mostly because I need a break. Sometimes we don't get one.
Yeah. But I mean, so I mean, I can on one hand, I can understand why they would do it. I mean, especially like Mike Richardson with Dark Horse. I mean, Mike, he's got to be 70s. He's in his 70s now, so it's probably like.
Yeah, like at my retirement, I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what other retirement plan is there in comics? Let's be honest. The comic book industry will chew you up and spit you out. The mainstream industry. There's so many people that had amazing comic book careers that wound up broke because they didn't own the stuff they worked on, right? The only people that actually had anything were the people that owned something, and they made movie deals or whatever, animation deals, or they sold their company. So I mean, I can't really fault them, but it seems like this is the only way out of comics to come out ahead, right? Unfortunately, because of the way the market is right now. Shannon says, over the past several years, Random House Worlds has partnered with Boom Studios on various projects and had the benefit of seeing firsthand their best-in-class comics publishing. So this is interesting. So yeah, they've actually already got an existing relationship with them, and that actually happens sometimes too. We always tell people like, look at who's working with who, and you can kind of like. You'll see in hindsight that this was always where things were going to go. Like if you have two companies that work very closely together and it's like, oh my God, this company bought this other company. It's like, you should be surprised because going back like 5 or 10 years, you can see that they were constantly working together. Ross and his team have built a dynamic, imaginative home for a diverse and talented roster of creators who complain that they don't get paid enough when they have a successful Kickstarter, by the way.
But I'm just saying, I mean, that's not the reason to get rid of you. I'll be like, you know what? You deal with these people.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, that actually, you know what?
That's what I do.
100%. I honest to God think a lot of, and again, going back to Star Wars, not making it all about Star Wars, but like, I honest to God think George Lucas was like, I don't want to deal with these people anymore. Take this cup from me. It's $4 billion. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take $4 billion. $4 billion, and you deal with all the people that have been shitting on me for the last 10 years? Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a fantastic deal, because I know they were going after Ross Ritchie. I know they were. They did the Keanu Reeves Kickstarter, Berserker, and it did gangbusters. It did a couple $1 million. It did the Power Rangers books. Every time they did a big Kickstarter, the same conversation would come up. It wasn't conversations. Basically, Twitter get ass mad. You'd have people like, I worked on a Boombox title from 3 years ago that has nothing to do with Keanu Reeves, but I only got paid $50 a page, and I think I should have gotten more money.
Right, and it's apples to oranges. Has nothing to do. One has nothing to do with the other. It's ridiculous.
Right. So yeah, we're thrilled to welcome them to our house, and they said it's a major step in Penguin Random House's expansion of support to the direct comics market, and a key part of our commitment to being the best publisher for creators across all categories. So this is kind of interesting because Penguin, and like, I can't keep track of who is distributing what now.
I know, yeah.
But like, because it used to be everybody went through Diamond, and now it's like, no, Simon & Schuster's doing stuff and Penguin's doing stuff, and then there's like a Lunar that's doing like DC stuff. But sounds like what's going to happen is we're going to have a lot of like publisher distributors, like they're going to publish and distribute the stuff to the 10 comic shops that are actually left, but mostly bookstores. Like, it's so weird. You look at the decimated direct market, and then you go to like a Barnes and Noble, and you're like, oh my God, look at all the books.
I know. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. It was funny. We went to one yesterday, and they had, oh my God, I love that store. I could have stayed there for hours and hours, but they had this huge wall of, Harry Potter stuff, books, merchandise, and all this stuff. And you posted it and said, look, she's so canceled. J.K. Rowling's so canceled. And people were like, you said in the comments, well, it's full because no one's buying it. It's like, sweetie, I was looking at Calico Critters and I was there for 20 minutes or so standing there. And when I saw several people walk up and either talk about how they wanted to buy this or they were literally taking stuff off the shelves and walking to the register with it. So no. But anyway.
It's called restocking. I know it's a foreign concept to some people, but when things sell out, you put more on the shelf.
Yes, exactly.
And they would not devote, and I think Aaron Sparrow actually brought that up. He said they would not devote that much shelf space to something that did not sell.
Exactly.
I mean, especially books that are 25 years old, and it was tons. I mean, tons of books, tons of merchandise, whatever. Yeah, totally not canceled. But they said that they actually, they have Berserker, Something is Killing Children, and Lumberjanes, which that's a whole nother, that is a Boom owned thing that a certain person who may or may not have been a showrunner on She-Ra took complete credit for, but it was not their thing.
They were one of many on staff.
One of many.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just, it's just kind of weird. Anonymous says, how does this affect other publishers like Marvel, Image, and Dark Horse? They're using Penguin too. Now they're going to have unfair bias owning Boom. They haven't had a hit since Berserker and Parrot leaving PR, which is licensed. Yeah, I don't know. It could just be that they're interested in some of the IP and they to make movies or something too. You know what I'm saying? Usually when somebody buys a comic book publisher, they're not buying it because they actually want to publish comic books. Let's be honest. Even though they are a publisher, because manga is going to make them a lot more money. They're buying it because it's like, oh, this is some IP that we own now that we can pimp out and make some merch. And it's kind of the same with Dark Horse. Like the reason they bought Dark Horse is they probably wanted the Hellboy because they're making a cheap ass Hellboy movie this fall, which I didn't even know anything about. They're making another Hellboy movie.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either until the picture came up.
Yeah, but they have a Hellboy video game in development or had one in development. So they just kind of acquire things. And I really do think that they might have gotten it really cheap. I mean, it could have been Ross Ritchie's just like, yeah, I went out. I went out because I see the future and there isn't much of a future in just publishing comic books. And you guys distribute comic books. Make me an offer. Buy Boom. Take this cup from me so I can go do something else, not have to deal with the Twitter weirdos. But there it is, guys. Everybody's taking their check. They're cashing out. That tells me that, I don't know. I don't know where things are at right now. I don't think they're good. I don't think comics are just fine, Heidi. I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.